movie theories, book theories, TV theories. These are all things that everybody has either looked up, come up with, or talked about. People love consuming movies, books, or TV. And they always, when they get into something, start making theories, start thinking about theories, or sometimes form an image in their mind that this happened off screen, off camera, off page, and this happened for sure. There are so many insane theories out there, like Loki didn't die in Infinity War, or every Adam Sandler movie is connected, or how Supreme Leader Snoke is actually Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And when it comes to things like Harry Potter is no exception because there are all sorts of crazy theories out there pertaining to Harry Potter. And while some have been proven true, others have been on the edge. A lot of fans do believe them, a lot of them don't. That is why today I'm going to go look at some Harry Potter theories on the web and give my thoughts, hopefully debunk a few. Let's get into it. Roll the intro. Okay, let's look at this one first. Says Neville wasn't a bad wizard, he just had the wrong wand. Now this, I don't even know why this is on the theory page. I feel like this is pretty much true. I don't think that Neville was ever a bad wizard, it's just that he always did have the wrong wand. He always had his dad's old wand. I think that if he had the right wand, where he would have got one from Ollivanders, I think that he would have been a good wizard to begin with. So, this one gets a pass. Now this one I always find really interesting, that Crookshanks was actually Lily Potter's cat. This one has always intrigued me. I feel like there's a lot of truth to it, which I feel like it honestly could be true, because Crookshanks hadn't been adopted by anybody for quite a while when Hermione went to go get him, and I believe the number of years about worked out to when Lily and James Potter would have died. It is true, I mean, Crookshanks recognized Scabbers right away. He knew that it was Peter Pettigrew, and Lily and James Potter definitely knew that Peter Pettigrew could turn into a rat because, I mean, James knew because Peter did it at school. So, yeah, I think that this theory is very likable. I personally think that I would believe it, and so this one for me gets a pass. This one, Harry and Hermione were actually brother and sister. You know, and I understand what people are saying, you know, James and Willy might have had a daughter and a son, but they sent their daughter away. She might have been the firstborn or something like that. Or no, they would have probably had twins. But I don't know. I just feel like Hermione was always independent, and I think that a big part of Hermione's story was that she was so good at magic despite not having any wizarding blood in her. So I feel like if this theory was true, it would probably take away from a topic that was actually given a lot of presence in the books and the movies. So I do not think so on this one. This one gets an X from me. So this is a theory that does get a lot of attention, saying Ron is Dumbledore. But, so there is actually a lot of evidence throughout the books which people feel like make this seem like it's true, because they're both redheads. They have been described as having large hands. They're both obsessed with candy. And people also feel like, how does Dumbledore constantly know what Harry, Ron, and Hermione are doing? And he's always able to go where they are. But what I feel like you can't support that, because Ron is a time-traveling Dumbledore. Then there's no way that he can exactly make sure that everything that he did before could happen again, if you get what I'm saying. Because according to Harry Potter rules of time, if you mess with the past, you mess with the future. So Ron would have definitely done something which would have made sure that everything that did not go exactly as planned. Also, that would mean that there's always been two Dumbledores running around, which, if we look at how the time turner worked, it doesn't seem like it would make sense. Because Dumbledore in his physical form would have to have traveled back, so that form would have never aged. So I have no clue how this would work. I like it, it's an interesting theory, but as of right now, I have to give it an X. Okay, this one's kind of ridiculous. Willy Wonka is actually George Weasley. So, the theory says that the famed sweets maker is actually the surviving Weasley twin George, who after the events of Deathly Hallows used a time turner to travel back to a different era and make a new life for himself. And Weasley used the knowledge from the Candy Empire he created with his brother, Fred, to restart his career in the Muggle world. This helps to explain a lot of Wonka's crazy inventions, which seem like they could only be possible with a little bit of magical help. You know, this is a fun theory. I think that there's no evidence and there's nothing to support this at all, considering they're two different franchises, but we will get to another thing about two franchises. But I think it's a really funny theory. Obviously, I think it has no truth, and it's definitely an X, but I do like the theory. It's funny. So speaking of two franchises, another theory is just like that, is that Mary Poppins and Harry Potter are in the same universe. So some readers say that Mary Poppins was actually a Hogwarts graduate long before Harry and even Voldemort. And she chose to move back into the Muggle world, but didn't want to give up her magic, as shown by her frequent use of levitation and flying spells, as well as her magical carry-everything bag, just like the one that Hermione had in Deathly Hallows. And in order to continue to use magic in front of Muggles without getting them too suspicious, she hid her wand and her umbrella, just like Hagrid. Again, Mary Poppins came out about almost 30 years before Harry Potter, and again, this is not even a theory, this is just really fan fiction, to be honest. But again, it's funny, I like the theory, and while it's still an X, I do like it. Now this one is definitely like the saddest theory I've ever heard, and it honestly ruins my childhood. But one is that the all was not well, is that Harry hallucinated everything, and that in reality the story started and ended where we found Harry sleeping under the stairs. And because of all the mental abuse and physical abuse the Dursleys gave him, he created this whole world of Hogwarts in his mind. And he basically created everything, and in reality he's in a mental institute. And he thinks that his world is true, but it's actually not. Now this theory would honestly just screw up my childhood, because I don't ever want that to be true. I know J.K. Rowling, she said that she has heard this before, but I don't think that this is true, because you can technically theorize this with anything. You could say that with Phineas and Ferb, saying that Phineas and Ferb died in a car crash when Candace was little, and all their adventures is just her imagining it, and that's why her mom doesn't find out. And you could go something else. You could honestly make this theory up with anything, but I think I don't think that J.K. Rowling ever meant to create a series which had such an amazing world. You see, I mean, it's a larger-than-life world that she created. It's literally been built in different countries, in Universal Studios, in different places. She has built something that is just larger than life, and I don't think that she would ever have meant to just ruin that all by one sentence saying, and then Harry woke up under the stairs. I don't think so. I don't think that you could find this with any movie or any book or any TV show, but this is definitely not true. And the last theory we have is that J.K. Rowling is actually Rita Skeeter. A lot of people are like, so what if Rita Skeeter fled the Wizarding World after the Battle of Hogwarts? Or what if she was exiled for being such a horrible journalist and she decided to write under a pseudonym, J.K. Rowling? And what if her topic was the Wizarding World that rejected her, and she wrote a 7-part series about a boy wizard that concludes with the very battle she left after? And maybe so. I guess people are then theorizing that the whole world of Harry Potter is in fact true, which could be crazy. Who knows? Again, I feel like if anything, J.K. Rowling was just trying to put herself in one of her books, and I feel like she felt that Rita Skeeter was a version of herself. I don't think that she necessarily, I mean, we never know, but I don't feel like it's necessarily that she is Rita Skeeter. I just think that J.K. Rowling did think that it'd be fun to put herself in one of her books, and she wrote Rita Skeeter as her character. But who knows? Maybe the Wizarding World is real. Maybe a wizard is watching this video. Chances are pretty low. But if a wizard is watching this, then send me a wand. And that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a ton of fun doing this, and I'm actually thinking of starting a new series on the channel called Book Theory, where I go over and give my thoughts on different theories. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe, like, leave down in the comments what you think about these different theories, and I'll see you guys in the next one.